As the USL season rolls into August, Birmingham Legion FC are back at home just a night later than we thought. After a postponement last night, they're back on their home turf today to take on some familiar foes as Cano Smith leads his Rhode Island side into Protective Stadium. It's an Eastern Conference clash in the Magic City, and it starts right now. On an overcast day here in Alabama, welcome to the final matchup of Week 22 in the USL Championship, a standalone Sunday featuring Birmingham Legion FC taking on Rhode Island FC. Up here in our booth at Protective Stadium, well, a day later than we originally thought, but glad to have you with us. That's Morgan Copes, I'm Blake Gardner, and Morgan tried to get it going yesterday to no avail. Finally, we get to see these two teams play today.
Certainly, and for Birmingham, they'll be eager to get out on the field at home. They tried it last week on a Friday, got canceled. Saturday got canceled, and then last night they had the same thing. So they will want to get out and go and try and get 3 points at home tonight.
We'll see if the postponement slows down Rhode Island at all. Winners of 2 in a row coming into tonight. Morgan, a big reason why, the Alabama native, J.J. Williams.
Certainly, a boy from Montgomery who's making his name up north in Pawtucket as a fan favorite. He's got 7 goals, 4 assists. He can do it all for this team. He can do it by himself, and he can create for others. The biggest thing for him is he will be very familiar to this Birmingham team and to Jay Heaps and his squad. He started a little bit of his career here in Birmingham, so for me it's going to be, can he keep his mental game in check to make a huge impact tonight for Rhode Island?
Speaking of guys that are going to make impacts tonight for their side, Sebastian Tregarthen has been a bright spot for the Legion all year.
He certainly has, and in Legion FC's best performance so far this year, in my opinion, was at Rhode Island. He had a goal and an assist. If Rhode Island decide to come out of their shell and play forward and try and break Birmingham down, and Birmingham play on the counterattack, Sebastian Tregarthen can be very dangerous with that ball at his feet.
We'll see if he creates some more danger tonight for a Legion attack that's looking to create some danger here back on their home turf. When we return to the Magic City, we'll get a look at each side's starting 11s, plus finally kickoff between Birmingham Legion and Rhode Island FC. Right after this.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Welcome back to our coverage of the final game of Week 22 of the USL Championship. Before we kick things off, let's get a look at each side's starting 11. So Morgan, let's start first with Cano Smith, who has made no changes to his 11.
Certainly, and why would you? You've had 2 games in a row, 2 clean sheets. You talked about J.J. Williams, but also Koke Vegas in goal, right? He mentioned earlier when we spoke to him that if they go up in a game, he's very confident they're going to end up winning because they have guys like Vegas amongst the back 5.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things for Birmingham Legion FC, they didn't change a whole lot either from midweek.
They sure didn't. Really, the only change is that Dawson McCartney's not in the starting 11 today. But look, we talked about Tregarthen, but Damas is dangerous. Diarbian can be dangerous. Vassal and Shishua, all of them can go and score a goal and from distance as well.
We'll see with the addition of Sam McElhatton what it looks like for the Legion. Dorian Del Toro, our referee this afternoon. He leads our quartet of officials. Of course, we already talked about Conor Smith, former Birmingham Legion assistant for 4+ seasons. Now in his 3rd season at the helm of this Rhode Island project, the former Bermuda international. At the other touchline, Jay Heaps, the 49-year-old, his 1st season as head coach with Birmingham Legion, celebrating a birthday this weekend. He's the CEO and president of this organization as well. Just about ready to rock on a beautiful Sunday evening. Birmingham Legion in their 3rd kits. Gray Forged for Battle secondary kits honoring USS Alabama. Meanwhile, Rhode Island FC in their 2026 Surge kits. We are off and running here from Protective Stadium.
Not a great start. The ball, I understand this tactic. You try and put it near the corner flag to make your opponent take a throw in. But it was missed pretty badly and straight out for a goal kick for Rhode Island, but who have quickly broken in through a few lines to retain possession and move forward against Birmingham.
So, early possession conceded to Rhode Island FC, who come into play this evening. Tied for that number 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're 7th thanks to tiebreakers. They're stuck on 22 points. Even with Miami FC. As J.J. Williams' first touch is a productive one. That pass just a bit too far out front of him, though. It's played off his feet and out for a Birmingham throw. Birmingham Legion, meanwhile, interplay today, 11th in the Eastern Conference, 14 points with 8 draws. More frustrating seasons of anybody in the USL Championship in terms of how many games they've been in but have not gotten 3 points from. Aldo Thomas on the run here, almost won the foot race. Scardina had to go to ground to keep it away from the striker. But it's out for a Birmingham throw here.
It's worth noting, Rhode Island, even with the games played today, they've only played 15. They're on 22 points. If it ends in a draw today, if they win, they'll be on 24. You add 9 to that, they'll be on 33 in 2nd place. So they've got plenty of room to grow. Legion FC have only played 16, including today. So if they can find a way to get more points, they will move up the table just a little bit.
As you alluded to off the top of the show tonight, Birmingham just been plagued by postponements here for home games. Had moved their contest against New Mexico United last weekend out to Shelby County for a special edition contest. Game was supposed to kick off on Friday evening, couldn't because of inclement weather. They bumped it back to Saturday, couldn't get that game going on Saturday either, so that game likely going to be rescheduled for sometime around September. Mexico United will have to plan a trip back here to the Deep South. Birmingham went out to Kentucky in midweek, was level with Lou City for a bit before conceding a 2nd goal to Kevon Lamberts. Their city took all 3 points from that contest. Birmingham and Rhode Island, of course, were supposed to play last night. Game was supposed to start at 7:06, then 8 o'clock, then 8:30 local time, then 9 o'clock, then 9:20 local time, and finally postponed to today. As Williams picks up his head and pings the ball all the way across the park that reaches Quezera.
On a dime. What a ball.
Quezera. That pass trickled just a bit too far in front of him. Productive stuff here early from Rhode Island. Quezera is one of the danger men. That pass off his left foot goes all the way through to Birmingham goalkeeper Jasim Kolelet. Comes into today looking for his 6th clean sheet across all competitions. 3 in the league, 2 Brinks Tires USL Cup play. McElhatton, newest addition into the 11 today for the Legion. Good first touch from him to keep that nearby. Brown down the line, Gavort Diarbian in between the lines. And a chance to show off that pace. Diarbian holds off a defender. Working with Sam Shashua on this left side. Shashua on the turn, Sam McElhatton. Back out to the captain, Fanuel Kavita, the experienced center back. With over 260 USL Championship appearances to his name coming into the weekend. Brown clips it forward. trying to bring it down, did so. It was off his feet. Actually, check that off Rhode Island man's feet. That's no Darcy who was out there to greet him. It's going to be a focal point for Birmingham, a guy who's created all sorts of danger, just has been missing really the finishing product. And you can say that for a lot to this Birmingham attack this year. Good intervention there from McElhatton, tried to keep it down here for a moment. There was a big collision. Referee allows play to continue as Fuson gets to his feet and joins the attacking half. Scardina has all sorts of space to work with here. Approaching the 18, his cross cut out. Along the floor, Bryce Washington slept it away from danger. Run here from Nick Scardina, P&W guy from Portland. Makes his 11th straight start today across all competitions for Rhode Island. Nadarce, Sanchez. To the feet of Nadarce, guy who's played pretty much all 4 spots along the back 4 for Conor Smith this year. Swiss Army knife of sorts. Let's see if this back 4 changes anymore. Clay Holstead making his move to FC Dallas about a week or so ago.
It's another Alabama native, Birmingham boy.
Alabama natives, a bit of a theme contest today. We're talking about J.J. Williams off the top of the show. Space out here for Rodriguez, rolls it along. Shapiro Thompson has options, cuts it back, but right at the feet of Williams, who was coming to get him.
A lot of connections to Birmingham in this match. Conor Smith spent the first couple of years in the men's professional side here as an assistant to Tommy Sohn. Got the opportunity to go lead Rhode Island and took that team to the USL final in his first year. Big accomplishment for that.
What a story it's been for Rhode Island. First winners of the Eastern Conference in 2024. Made it back to the Eastern Conference final last year, despite finishing just 7th in the East. We're bowing out to Pittsburgh. Now this ball skips through. Options abound once again. On the cutback, doesn't quite get back to Quizera. Birmingham eventually deals with it, but it's out for the first Rhode Island corner of the night. 7 minutes in, Morgan, Conor Smith has to feel pretty good about what he's seen from his side.
I believe so, and I think set pieces will be key tonight. Birmingham haven't been great defending them lately, but Rhode Island, as of late, have started to score some goals. They've got 6 goals on set pieces so far this season, and they've mostly come recently.
And swing and serve here from Quizera. Kalela, the goalkeeper, got spilled. Referee didn't stop the play. Quizera collects. Can he serve another here? That first touch awfully heavy. Got away from him. And now a chance for Birmingham to counter quickly. Peter Lee Vassell out the other side. He's got a sprinting Trey Garthen. He's also got Antwi as well. Trey Garthen with options. Trying to cut it back. Went to ground. Vassell couldn't squeeze off a shot. Now a chance to go back the other direction here for Rhode Island. End to end. Sanchez leads the break. He's got Williams in front of him. Shapiro Thompson to his right. It's Sanchez whose shot's blocked. Well, Kavita trying to find his way back in front does, but concedes a Rhode Island throw. End-to-end sprints there after that corner.
Yeah, here we've got a quick look at the opportunity for Birmingham, and Trey Garthen goes down. And then a little bit of extras here. Sanchez loses his balance and narrowly avoids the corner of that field board, which could have been very dangerous.
There's a Rhode Island throw here. Rarely do you see this. Number 9 comes over to take the throw, and J.J. Williams is going to try to lob this into the 18, it looks like.
He's a big boy, so...
A long throw. Bryce Washington the first head to greet it. Williams back to the penalty spots. Sent away by Sam McElhatton. Joshua brings it under control on the turn. Couldn't quite get that all the way back to Damas. Hero Thompson dispossessed. Well done by Seth Antwi. Anchor of this Birmingham defensive midfield, Antwi.
You said earlier he's only missed 6 minutes so far this season. I think he's been the signing of the offseason for Birmingham. I think he's been fantastic. He's one of the best holding midfielders, I think, and he's been a piece that Birmingham has been missing for the past couple of seasons, really ever since Anderson Asiadu left. And he brings a little bit of that bite back into the midfield, plugs up the gaps very well. Between him and Kolelet, I think you could argue either one of them could be the best signing of the season. But
excellent ball there from Peter Lee Vassell. Keys the Birmingham attack. Diarbian into the area. Diarbian options. Couldn't quite thread it all the way through to Damas, but it's out for a Birmingham corner.
And he just, for me, this is just my personal opinion, right? He has the defender. He has the opportunity to attack his inside leg, and he could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be very direct in that moment. He hasn't scored a lot of goals. He's created a lot of XG and XA so far this season. If you like that stat, you know, there's the opportunity to dive into that. But, you know, his efficiency is not great. You have the opportunity to run at the guy, cut it inside, and shoot it, instead of taking 5-6 touches and getting 8 yards from the goal.
This opportunity this time does set up this ensuing corner. Peter Lee Vassell, Jamaican international, will play this short. Vassell, dangerous ball. Darcy got ahead to it. Unconvincing clearance there from Quizera. Better clearance on the second time around. Trying to flick it along. Nadarse found the feet to the referee, who didn't stop play. Now will, because otherwise his touch would have keyed a promising counter. It's going to be a drop ball here at the feet of a Rhode Island player. And quickly, Hugo Baccarat and Rhode Island are on the move once more. Dozen minutes in tonight. Glad to have you with us. USL Championship match on the docket here on this Sunday. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes, 7th overall meeting all time between Rhode Island and Birmingham. Rhode Island looks for their 5th win in this series history. Birmingham Legion have won just once when these two teams have met, but that was the meeting just a few months ago back in May. As Morgan talked about off the top of the show, a 3-1 victory for the Legion. Sebastian Tregarthen, Fanwa Kavita, Ronaldo Damas scored a trio of goals. In fact, that's the last time Birmingham Legion have scored multiple goals in a USL Championship match. They scored plenty Brinks Tires USL Cup play. Not found the same goal-scoring touch in the league. Just 17 goals coming in. It's the second lowest USL Championship. Only Hartford Athletic have scored fewer. Rhode Island, speaking of scoring, are threatening here on the edge of the area. On the turn, Rodriguez back out wide. Quizera all the way through, almost. Tregarthen got a defining touch to keep it away from J.J. Williams. Nadarse, excellent touch to get around the defender. His cross just a bit too tall for Williams, but here comes another Rhode Island corner.
you mentioned Nadarse's been in every single position along that back line. Here he shows his ability to get forward and put a ball in the box.
That's been a Rhode Island mainstay over the last 3 seasons. Done a little bit of everything. Oh, excellent service here. Maybe the wrong option picked out there by Scardina. He had plenty of space to work with. Instead, his serve was over the top of everybody in a blue shirt. Peter Lee Vassell is going to try here. Okay, Vegas was off his line, but that's a bit too tall.
Yeah, I don't mind it from Peter Lee Vassell there. You see Vegas off his line, and you catch that just right, and it's a goal. And he gets a little bit too far under it. Maybe gets his 9-iron out when he maybe needed a 7. But still, I don't think it's a bad opportunity to try and take from that position if you know the goalkeeper's out.
Vegas in the end looked like he had it covered. He'll play the goal kick short. 30 years old now is Koke Vegas, first ever signing for this Rhode Island project. Today his 31st straight USL Championship start, dating back to the regular season of last year and then some playoff action and now into this year. Spaniard who originally came to the U.S. for the first time back in 2022 with San Diego Loyal. Now made a mark for himself as a mainstay in between the sticks for Rhode Island. Possession here for Rhode Island FC. 15 minutes in. They've been the more dangerous side to this point. More options for Scardina. Serve swept away once again by Washington. Narce collects. Bacharach's pass deflected. Bacharach able to turn a little bit this time, working with Shapiro Thompson. Birmingham fairly compact defensively. DeArbian was eclipsed. Referee says no. Rhode Island allowed to play on. Shapiro Thompson has his cross cutouts. Another Rhode Island corner forthcoming.
Pause a moment for the player down right now as he catches his breath.
Hard to tell whether Sam McElhatton wore that serve off the face. McElhatton, not the tallest of guys.
Off the throat.
Didn't feel great for the Aussie midfielder. Looks like he's all right. Quizera, driven ball, a free header, flicked to the back post, and Williams couldn't get it before it went out of play. But Scardina again, left with space, just couldn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, Birmingham are playing with fire. We've talked about them conceding several times on set pieces recently. They've got to find a way to make sure that everybody stays marked.
Vegas.
Otherwise, they're going to give up a goal here soon.
Vegas was very unconvincing with that header, but fortunately for him, it didn't come back to cost him. DeArbian able to bring this one down, hounded by Shapiro Thompson. Referee has not blown his whistle really yet through 16 minutes. Now players to play. Vessel's pass, cutouts. Pete Rodriguez. And on loan from Lanús in Argentina. Rolled along down the line. Island on the move once more. Quizera clips it in. J.J. Williams almost got there. It bounced in front of him. And a bit of indecision at the back between Tregarthen and Colelet. In the end, it does bounce out for a Rhode Island corner, but that was awfully dangerous.
It's a great ball. Such a dangerous ball from Quizera. And you know what? Colelet does just enough to put J.J. Williams off because he pulls out of that. If he just sticks his neck through it, he scores a goal, and J.J.'s upset with himself for not taking on the goalkeeper there because he would have been rewarded with another goal.
Corner count continues to climb early here for Rhode Island. Serve dealt with by the Legion. Looked like Ronaldo Damas got ahead to it. Rodriguez back out to the wide areas. Quizera. Shapiro Thompson. His cross partially deflected and cleared away by Damas. Rhode Island trying to keep the pressure on early. Much like what Lou City did to the Legion back on a Wednesday. Birmingham were under duress almost straight away at Lynn Family Stadium. Excellent run there from Tregarthen. He went to ground, wanted a whistle, didn't get one. That's been a theme here early. There have been virtually no whistles early. Bacharach back out wide. Rodriguez. Edge of the area, looking for some space. Bryce Washington again up to provide the clearance as far as Grant Stoneman.
Listen, it's not all bad from Birmingham. I think that the things that we talked about in the Open, where if they get caught in possession, just like they do now, and Birmingham can break, and they don't break out. So, but if they can break on Rhode Island, they will have good chances to score goals. They had one earlier with Trey Garthen who got through. We talked about him literally doing exactly just that. So Birmingham are sitting in. They're sitting deep. And so if they continue to do that, they will invite the pressure from Rhode Island. However, the turn of that is, the flip side, is that if they lose the ball like they just did a moment ago, right, it will open up an opportunity for Birmingham to counter. And if they can get it pieced together quick enough, they can really hurt Rhode Island. And that's how they did it in Rhode Island earlier this year.
20 minutes gone by, still scoreless to this point. Both sides have had some early chances, the bulk of which belong to the visitors, but officially just one shot aside. Oh, what a nutmeg that was from Sebastian Trey Garthen, around a second defender as well. How good was that? Joshua, Fossil's pass, couldn't quite get back to Trey Garthen. It's out for a Rhode Island throw. That was filthy, though, from the Uruguayan Sebastian Trey Garthen, the guy who led this Birmingham team and completed dribbles last time out against Lou City. Played all 90 minutes, created 2 scoring chances by himself. Completed 4 dribbles around defenders, and finally, I believe that is the first official foul of the game in the 21st minute.
And Jay Heaps, in my opinion, I think is rightly incensed about that. Was right in front of him. He saw the guy plan to take the hit and then went down easily. And there's been much bigger collisions so far today that the referee has let go.
Gonna need Nicholas Murray on that. How long? That might be the longest of any USL game this year without a foul. We went 20 plus minutes without a whistle. Finally, the first foul is called against the home side, Birmingham Legion.
Nicholas Murray, if you were listening, be interested to see what you come up with.
Scardino to Shapiro Thompson as we approach midway point of this opening half. Stoneman. Zod on the turn, looking for space, hounded by McElhead. Quiet start for Noah Fuson to this point. Here's Washington again, clears away the danger. Fans, a reminder, you can turn to CBS Sports Network on Saturday, August 8th for an action-packed USL Championship Western Conference showdown. Feisty Monterey Bay FC take on a surging New Mexico United club determined to climb up the standings. Catch all the action on CBS Sports Network August 8th at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Saw Sam McElhead take one off the face. Go Brown that time, taking a bit of a stray arm there from Noah Fuson. Wasn't a ton of contact, but anything around the face and the head, flirting with fire. Fuson, of course, the former Golden Playmaker Award winner in Rhode Island's inaugural campaign back in 2024. Worked by Trey Garthen defensively. It's out for a Rhode Island throw. Speaking of Fuson, guy that was spilled there.
Connor Smith was saying earlier this week he'll be the first player to 100 appearances for Rhode Island, which is a big thing for their club, right? Only 3 years in, the first player to get to 100. He said it would have been Clay Holstad, but Clay Holstad had the opportunity to go to FC Dallas on loan, made his debut last night, which is really big for the organization. And Connor Smith talked about how important that was to have players go onto the MLS from their program.
Another long throw from Williams. Quizera moves back post, nobody home. For a Birmingham Legion goal kick. We'll play this short, it looks like. We approach 24 minutes gone. Legion on the build here. And their opportunities to break haven't been the cleanest on the counter. Trey Garthen caught by a stray arm. Joshua quickly plays around his teammates. On the other side come the Legion.
It's almost as if to say, like, look, hey, I know you got hit, but like, look, we've got a chance. Let's keep it moving, right? We talked about Birmingham are likely to play on the counter tonight, and there was an opportunity where Rhode Island would still have 3 or 4 players cut out.
Kavita to the feet of Peter Lee Vassell. Thomas trying to hold off Nodarse. A lot of contact there. Referee lets it all go.
Yeah, for me, I think that's a foul, right? Thomas is doing everything he can to hold the player off, and eventually he comes around him and pulls him down. I'm also a former number 9 myself, so I've been in plenty of those battles where you're holding off the defender, and then all of a sudden, they've just thrown you to the ground, and the referee's just looking at you like, what do you want me to do about it?
Dorsey, again, one of the best defenders in the league. There's 3 Rhode Island players that was mentioned in Jim Morrissey's USL Championship top 50 that he did last week. He's done it all for this back line. Excellent pass to find Trey Garth, and his first time served just a bit behind Thomas. Nico Brown collects. Diarbian racing to the byline. His cross cut out by Scardina, but out for another Birmingham corner. How good was this? Breaking lines. Sam Shashua to set up Sebastian Trey Garthen to start that promising move. Birmingham makes something of this now. Serve dealt with by Stoneman. Will stay in play, yes it will. Still the big bodies forward here for Birmingham. At least the center backs are forward. Kavita wants it. Antwi is not going to oblige him here. Washington and Kavita both are still forward. Into the feet of Kavita here. Shashua, top of the box. Couldn't quite get that all the way through to Damas. Now Birmingham's got to scramble back and get some shape. Vanwa Kavita wins it fair and square. Look at the center back in the attacking third. Couldn't quite set up his teammate Ronaldo Damas top of the box.
Yeah, now things are a little stretched. You've got players out of position. Sam McElhatton is not a center back. He's stepping to the ball here. But then you got Nico Brown, who got caught outside, too close.
Quizera 1v1 with Brown for now as Gray Shirts struggle to get back. Quizera fires, kick, save, and a beauty. Joseph Kolelitz. Shapiro Thompson recycles possession here for Rhode Island. An important first stop for Kolele. Mackel had a key defensive intervention. This game has gotten stretched a couple of times here in this first half. That's the second time that's happened off action shortly after a corner. That pass under hits. And turned over. Diarbian. Shashua was he clipped? Referee says no.
Say what you want about whether that's a foul or whether a couple of these have been fouls or not, right? The referee's been consistent, and the players will adapt, the coaches will adapt to that.
Toussaint leads the charge on his left. Kolelek just got a piece to tip it over the bar.
When you say just got a piece, I mean he just got a piece. And what a fantastic save that was. That's 2 big saves. Here we get a look at the kick save earlier. That's a great save. He doesn't get a good look at that. And then here he just gets a fingertip to that. I mean, listen, that wasn't far off.
2 big saves for Jessup Kolelet, who was very busy back in Kentucky on a Wednesday. End of the weekend, 3rd in the USL Championship in saves. He's approaching 60. This is his 17th league starts. Quizera's ball punched away, and a foul. He's going to give Birmingham a free kick.
I'll tell you what, if somebody's paying attention on the sidelines, if he can catch that ball, which I don't think he could have caught this one, right? But if he can catch one, Koke Vegas is coming up to midfield. So if he can catch it, get out of the crowded area, and ping a ball, why wouldn't you just, as a goalkeeper, take a shot? Literally take a shot.
His errant pass leads to more possession for Rhode Island. Williams' cross cut out, but another corner coming for the visitors. Corner count continues to climb. This will be number 7. So Shapiro Thompson over to the flank to set up for another corner. Morgan, here's what you're talking about. Get a look at where Rhode Island goalkeeper Koke Vegas is.
Yeah, if Kolele can catch this ball and get out of the crowded area of his 6 and get a clean strike on it, he has a chance to put that ball in the back of the net.
Shapiro Thompson, a low serve that Thomas got a piece of. Rodriguez heads it back towards the penalty spot. Kavita couldn't quite clear it. Brown.
Shoot it. Nope. Okay, he's not on it.
Just a bit too far out front. Gort Diarbian, who wanted that played more to feet.
We saw Peter Lee Vassell try it earlier, right? And it's not easy. Let's be honest, right? But what it does is it will force Koke Vegas to stay deeper, which will force Rhode Island to stay back a little bit further in terms of who they leave back to defend on corners.
See Cano Smith continuing to bark out instructions as J.J. Williams preps for another long throw. Trying to put some pressure on this Birmingham back line that, as Morgan said earlier, has conceded quite a bit from set pieces. 10 set-piece goals allowed this year is the worst mark in the USL Championship coming into this Sunday. Darcy couldn't quite get into that one. Diarbian flicked on header, keeps it away from Quizera. Now for a Rhode Island throw, which he takes quickly. Scardino. Probing. Worked by McElhatton to get a boot on that in front of Pete Rodriguez. Another Rhode Island corner coming here. While we have a moment, fans, to remind you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on Through the End, Nations League Spanish language sports network. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Quizera's been busy in this first half, as expected. Good ball delivered there. And first time, it's flicked off the post. In the mix, shouts for a handball go ungranted. Shapiro Thompson fires through a crowd. That's blocked away. And after all that, another corner coming, but a huge stop from Kolelet on Fusan's volley from the top of the box.
And it's a fantastic strike from Fusan. I mean, take nothing away from his strike. He got all of it, and Kolelet tipped it onto the post. And here we're getting a quick look before the next corner comes. I mean, he just catches it cleanly, and Kolelet gets it away.
How many highlight saves is this guy going to make this week? This one tempting his goal straight from the corner flag. He tips it over the top. If you didn't see what Justin Kolelet did on Wednesday against Lou City, he did concede 2 goals, but he saw nearly 30 shots and made some spectacular saves that kept Birmingham in that game. Another opportunity here. This one through a crowd, ricochets off 2 bodies and cleared away. Finally, Birmingham can regain some shape here. Koke Vegas ships it back towards the top of the box. Nodarse. How long can Birmingham contend with this Rhode Island pressure? This is not a Rhode Island side that typically plays with a ton of possession. 19th in the league in terms of average possession per game coming in. Less than 45% on an overall basis, but they've had about 63% of the ball so far. A little less than a dozen minutes to go in the first half.
And as we've talked about, right, Birmingham is going to sit back, allow them to have the ball and play on the break. They think they have the tools to be very successful on the break. And look, they got Rhode Island 3 times earlier this year as you mentioned, you know, Birmingham hasn't scored more than one goal a lot of times this year. And if you give them the opportunity to play on the break and make mistakes in possession, they can hurt you.
Zero wins the foot race here. Brown trying to cut out that pass, and he does. But concedes another corner in the process. Scardina was getting forward from his fullback spot one more time. Another corner forthcoming here for Rhode Island.
This is now the 9th corner for them.
Gives you an idea of how much pressure they have applied here early. Birmingham's backline to this point has been, but it has not been broken. Kalila has made a couple of brilliant saves so far. Williams near post, trying to get the flick. Couldn't. Now can Birmingham break? Been absorbing quite a bit of pressure over the last few minutes, but now have some room to roam.
They pull up and slow the game down, allow Rhode Island to get back. Which sometimes you need to do that, right? You need to pull up. You need to kind of give yourself a little bit of break, maybe retain possession for just a couple minutes. It's very, very difficult mentally as a player to be switched on for extended periods of time where you don't see the ball, particularly if you're in attack, right? I mean, for instance, like a guy like Sam Shashua who wants to have the ball at his feet. He needs to see it. And, you know, if he's constantly having to defend and unable to do what he's doing right now, then, you know, he can get switched off.
There is Shashua, who wins a free kick in the attacking third for the first time tonight. Englishman had an outstanding goal against Blue City on a Wednesday. He's also the team's leading passer in that contest, as he is most nights. This really very few opportunities Birmingham have had in the attacking third, especially over the last 15-20 minutes. Really Vassell and Sam Joshua giving this a good long look. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner. Vassell delivers an outswinging ball. J.J. Williams got to head to it first. Antwi collects. Birmingham get a second service, perhaps. Diarbian just got himself back on side. Not to take on Nodarse. Covito, one of two center backs, is making his way back. Bryce Washington staying up for now. Joshua, Diarbian. Diarbian serves. Thomas couldn't keep it down. It was great work from Diarbian. Although that service might have taken a fortunate deflection, it found the head of Ronaldo Damas.
Diarbian does a great job. It does take a deflection, but Ronaldo Damas, he just simply has to do better here. His season has somewhat been plagued by opportunities and misses so far. He's just got the one goal to his name in the league, and you know, he's a player that we just showed a stat. He's got 50 goals. He can put the ball in the back of the net. He was the star for Colorado Springs when they won the final against Rhode Island and scored a goal in that game.
Ball hit the referee on the way through. Quizera arguing that should be dropped at a Rhode Islander's feet. Instead, it's going to be dropped, I believe, at Sam McElhatton's feet. He was going to win the ball before it hit the referee. Even though technically Rhode Island was the last to play it when it hit him. So play restarted here in just a moment. To your point, Ronaldo Damas, just one goal so far this year. Had just 10 touches Birmingham's last contest against Lou City. It's been he and Gevork Diarbian who have been some of the most unlucky in the league in terms of XG generated versus actual goals scored. Adamas last in USL in terms of XG versus the actual goals scored. He's generated 5.37 worth of XG in the league. He scored just once. Third to last in that same department is his teammate, Gainbridge Diarbian, who's generated 5.06 worth of XG and just scored once. Flag is up here on Damas this time. Morgan, when you're generating those kind of opportunities, you're not putting them away and just putting so much pressure on everything else to be perfect. When Birmingham has only scored 17 times this year, the margin for error, you're not finding the back of the net. Some of your most productive players, just becomes a much tougher road.
It sure does, and it's frustrating too. It's frustrating for players, and because you know you have the capability and the ability to score, and it for whatever reason it doesn't go in for you. It takes a deflection and goes off the post out, or it's you stub your toe as you go to hit the ball. Just things that are just silly in terms of preventing you from scoring goals, and you have to just continue to work hard in that moment, or in those moments where you're struggling. It's almost like a slump in baseball, right? What do? You go back to the basics.
There's a Rhode Island player down is Franklin Darcy, who's a bit slow to get up. We'll see if he needs some medical attention here as we near the end of the first half. He's working a bit gingerly right now. But it looks like he'll be able to continue. While we have a moment, fans will remind you that Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sports.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, player's choice. Nifty work there from Peter Lee Vassell and a crowd. Vegas, a clean collection in the end. Is there anything left in terms of scoring opportunities in the opening 45? How about what a pass that was. Splitting lines. And King, Rhode Island's attack once more. Wizera delivers. Kavita definitely off his chest. Thomas trying to hold it up. Couldn't keep it in front of Darcy. Karak putting that big frame to work. Rhode Island leader in duels won. Back-to-back excellent plays there. Keeping this in the Rhode Island attacking third. Rodriguez against McElhatton on his left. And beyond its intended targets. Antwi's clearance unconvincing. Bacharach on the half volley had it blocked. Cleared all the way out to midfield. The flag was up for offside. So it's going to be a Birmingham free kick. Speaking of Birmingham, Legion FC hit the road next week for their first ever visit to Brooklyn FC on Saturday, August 8th. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock Central Time. Three Sparks remain on the road visiting Colorado Springs Saturday, August 15th at 8 o'clock Central Time. Watch both matches live right here on My 68 in Birmingham or nationally on ESPN+. Follow along at BHM Legion on X for live match updates. Legion FC return to Protective Stadium Saturday, August 22nd to host Sporting Jacks. 7 o'clock Central Time. Join us for Women and Girls in Sports Night. Get your tickets to that match today, bhmlegion.com/tickets. Antwi wanted that throw, did not get it. It's a Rhode Island throw, although Agustin Rodriguez will be pushed back a few steps. Instead, he'll leave it for his teammate, Onair Sanchez. Sanchez's lob just a bit too far for Williams. Diarbian able to turn and run. Look at this from Gavork Diarbian with space. And I think he was trying to thread through Sam Shashua, who wasn't sure if he was going to stay onside. Birmingham have had their opportunities on the break, just haven't been the cleanest when they've needed to be.
Certainly, and again, I've spoken about how they can hurt you on the break. That's when they're most dangerous.
Here's Yarbian again, working this time with Nico Brown. 45th minute here, shouldn't have much in the way of stoppage time. What's been a fairly free-flowing first half. Again, we went over 20 minutes without a foul call. We've only had 4 fouls called this entire half. McElhatton picks up his head, delivers an excellent ball. Trey Garthin's cross cutout. Williams trying to keep it away from his ex-teammate Kavita could not. Joshua might have a go here. Instead, he'll feed Yarbian. Yarbian on his right, his shot blocked. Brock flicks it away. Brown trying to keep it down here. Joshua trying to keep it alive, could not. And that is going to be all. No minutes of stoppage time brought to you by UAB Medicine. Just a 4-foul, goalless first 45. And we go into the break deadlocked. So plenty to talk about in both dressing rooms. After 45 minutes, Rhode Island certainly applied more pressure. Birmingham had their moments. We'll see which one of these two sides finds breakthrough when we return for the second stanza. Coming up at the break, look at building for the USL's future, plus some first half stats, highlights, and a look around a busy Saturday night, including arguably the game of the year from Al Lang Stadium. We'll talk about that all when we return to Protective Stadium. 0-0 our score. We'll be right back to Birmingham after this.
For every action, there's a reaction. For every late night check-in, every early morning routine, every episode that you just wish wouldn't end, there are thousands of actions making it all possible. From the little things to the big things, to the couldn't live without them things. There are hardworking people doing everything in their power to power everything you do.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
They are more than shiny and new. The latest collection of brand new stadiums in USL are a commitment to communities. Fans in Boise have set attendance records. Finishing touches greet the fans in Fort Wayne weekly. In Greenville, Triumph fans are in love with their permanent new home. These projects take time and patience, but nothing gets a community excited like seeing a shovel in the ground. Detroit City of the USL Championship has gone from dreams to renderings to construction. At its recent groundbreaking in southwest Detroit, Alumni Phi Stadium became a vision for the very near future.
We've been incredibly fortunate to create something that's way bigger than us, and that we have the great fortune of being stewards of it. And the stadium represents really an investment in that community, an investment in this neighborhood, a tremendous investment in the city, and something that will be around for generations to come.
With this stadium, the club is investing in its future and demonstrating a long-term commitment to building a sustainable, community-driven club. I'm excited for what the future holds for Detroit City. I can't wait to be back here for the opening match in 2028. And I want to say congratulations to the fans, supporters, ownership group, and the entire community that made this amazing new home possible.
At 15,000 seats, Alumni Phi raises the bar for Detroit City. Soon there will be more groundbreakings and sounds of stadium construction as USL gets closer to the launch of Premier.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Base, spins that goal. It's in Monterey Bay with another strong start. Christian Nava, the Albuquerque native, puts New Mexico on top.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
This week on USL All Access, Atletico Dallas has not played a game yet, but Chicharito, a lot about Chicharito.
Chicharito? Yeah, he's coming to USL play. Every entity is going to want to listen to this one. Sporting director Brian Corcoran joins us from Atletico Dallas. He talks the top to the bottom in the best of ways for what is one of the coolest up-and-coming organizations as a USL entity.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. Time for the headlines for the week. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Olex Anderson of the Las Vegas Lights made club history last week by scoring a goal at the 42nd mark of the match against Detroit City. That's a Vegas record and the fastest goal in the USL Championship this season. By the way, that 1-0 victory makes it 3 consecutive road wins for the Lights. Now, despite that highlight, it was a tough week to score goals. The goalkeepers in the championship posted 10 shutouts in 13 league matches. Ethan Bondre of Loudoun United led the way with 9 saves against Indy 11. Hartford Athletics' Anthony Siaha made 6 saves in a shutout. Next season, Atletico Dallas will make its debut in the championship, and this week, the club made some immediate noise announcing the signing of the great Chicharito. Yes, Javier Hernandez, the longtime star of Mexico, Manchester United, Bayer Leverkusen, and many more, will return to the pitch as Atletico Dallas's first ever player signing. A pair of upcoming national spotlight games, Richmond Kickers and New York Cosmos in League One next Wednesday. Next Saturday, it's Monterey Bay and New Mexico United. Both matches are on CBS Sports Network. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Back here in Birmingham, scoreless so far between Birmingham Legion and Rhode Island FC. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes, glad to have you with us as we close out week 22 in the USL Championship between two Eastern Conference foes. See come into the weekend on 22 points, tied with Miami FC above the playoff line. We're trying to vault above Miami with still plenty of games in hand. Morgan, meanwhile, Birmingham with work to do, spots below the playoff line. And winning some of these games at home coming up here in August certainly would help.
Certainly. They got one more opportunity this month at home to Sporting Jacks to get 3 points, but some big competitions coming up for them for sure.
Here's what the Eastern Conference looks like right now. You see Tampa Bay alone at the top on 38 points. 3 more points they picked up yesterday. Really thought the story of yesterday was going to be the comeback in Lexington. Lexington trailed Monterey Bay 2-0 inside of 30 minutes before coming all the way back with 3 straight to take 3 points away from their Western Conference foes that night. The only problem, they were overshadowed by an even bigger and better comeback at Outland Stadium, a 9-goal thriller between Tampa Bay and Lou City. Morgan, probably the game of the year, not only in the USL Championship, but maybe the American soccer landscape at large.
100%. It was the best game in soccer in the United States this past weekend. It was so good. All 9 goals were fantastic. There were 6 of them in the second half.
Braces from Russell Cicerone and M.D. Myers, plus one more. Miko Micheletto gave Tampa Bay Rowdies a 5-4 thrilling comeback victory. If you haven't watched the highlights of that, highly recommend you do so. Scoreless so far here in Birmingham. 14 shots for Rhode Island, Morgan. They have been the team that has applied the most pressure, but so far Birmingham has kept them at bay for now.
They have, and listen, Rhode Island have had some chances. Collet has had to step up and make some big saves so far. They're playing with fire. You mentioned earlier in the broadcast how they've conceded the most on set pieces so far this year. Rhode Island certainly think that they're going to try and get a goal on a set piece again tonight. But the flip side is, look, Birmingham, when they've broke well. They've been in dangerous positions, but that final ball is not there yet. So Rhode Island is also playing with fire in that if they continue to do that, Birmingham can beat them.
We'll see what changes here in the second half here in just a few moments. The second 45 minutes just around the corner. We'll be right back with the second half between these two sides after this.
I served as a defense coordinator at UAB. We're being squeezed on every side. When we hear about Alabama Power freezing their rates, that's the best news we can get. Alabama Power rate freeze will provide real relief for Alabama working families. Alabama Power is protecting their customers by making data centers pay their full cost. It makes me feel at peace. Alabama Power is really stepping up and doing what's right for customers.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Back here at Protective Stadium, almost time for the second half. But first, let's get a look at some highlights from the first 45 minutes, Morgan. And it didn't take long for J.J. Williams in Rhode Island to start threatening.
Yeah, certainly. And this is probably the best chance for J.J. Williams to score. He doesn't get it in, but Collet makes a huge save here. That's the first big save he had to make, and then there's another good one.
2 big saves for Collet, and then he had to make a third right here.
Yeah, the technique there was so good from Fuson. And then the save was just as good, and this was a fantastic strike.
14 shots in all for Rhode Island. 3 of them, at least, Collet had to save, and then Birmingham Legion only had a couple of looks. Ronaldo Damas couldn't quite find the frame there, and outside of that, Morgan, Birmingham trying to fight and keep Rhode Island away from the attacking third, and really the only constant theme there was plenty of physicality, but not a whole lot of fouls. Just 4 called the entire 45 minutes. We'll see if that changes here in the second half.
Yeah, it has been a physical game, but you know what? The teams are adapting to that, and they're fine with that. As long as it's consistent, they don't care. They just want it to be consistent. And in some ways, that'll suit a player like a J.J. Williams, who is a big boy and can throw his own body weight around against opponents. And player like a Sam Shashua or one of the other smaller players may not love that as much. You got Pipi Rodriguez, who's not going to be throwing as much body weight around nearly as Fam Wokavita or J.J. Williams.
Second half underway here from Protective Stadium. Rhode Island in blue, Birmingham Legion in their secondary kits in gray, honoring the USS Alabama. We'll see which one of these two sides finds breakthrough on what has turned into a gorgeous night for soccer here in the Magic City. 79 degrees, just a little bit of breeze. That is spectacular for August in the Deep South. Not the only positive to take away from the postponement. Unable to play yesterday through all the storms and the lightning we had in the area. Rhode Island had the bulk of the ball there in the first half. We'll see if that trend continues here in the second half. No announce changes for either side here as we get things running. Darcy is limping a little bit there late in the first half, but looks like he's moving around okay. A couple of progressive touches there. On here, Sanchez. Sanchez pushes forward. Rodriguez. Dispossessed by Antwi. Back on it here. Rodriguez to keep it away from Antwi this time. Quizera unable to get on the end of that. Sam McElhatton beat him to it. 7th start of the year for Sam McElhatton, by the way. The 28-year-old Aussie has come off the bench 7 times. He's now started 7 times in the league. Played about a half hour off the bench midweek against Lou City. Kalela tried to avoid conceding a corner instead. Fusion's cross deflected out. It's another theme for the first half. Double-digit corners for Rhode Island in the first 45 minutes. This is their 11th already. And it was going to be something to watch tonight. Birmingham conceded not once but twice. Corners against Lou City. A brace from Kevon Lambert. It's now 10 goals Birmingham have given up from set pieces. Quizera right on top of the goalkeeper. Kalela couldn't get back in front, but a foul is called as Bryce Washington is a bit slow to get up.
Yeah, they're trying to drop this ball right in on top of Kalela, and little friendly fire there as Kalela catches Washington, but
it's Grant Stoneman, the guy who was in the mix there for Rhode Island, a guy who's making his 155th USL Championship appearance today. Guy who's played now 7 USL Championship seasons after starting his career in League One with Lansing. 4 seasons with San Diego before making the move to Rhode Island. That sends it away. Rodriguez, can he keep it in play? He can, says the assistant referee. He tries for goal. Saw that the whole way. Most comfy save he's had to make so far tonight. Koke Vegas on the other side of things has not had to make a save yet. Legion do have a couple of shots, but nothing on frame. Sarah lobs this back into play. Rhode Island back to work. Fans, a reminder, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Played long. Quizera on the run. Bryce Washington will assure that one over the line. Wanted to play that quickly, now has had second thoughts and probably needs to make a decision here soon. Looks like he's going to send everybody deep. Morgan, obviously Birmingham Legion caught a lot of fire there in the first half. Saw 14 shots, but they've kept it level for now. What do you think Jay Heaps' message was at the break?
Yeah, I think for him, look, I think he's going to want to remind his team we need to stay sharp on set pieces, on corners. We've given up a lot tonight, and we've given up a lot of goals so far this year, so we just need to stay mentally sharp there, and let's catch them on the break, and let's just make sure we pick the right final ball. The opportunities are going to be there if we continue down that path. You know, he's got plenty of options off the bench to bring on in Sebastian Salcedo. He's got Sergin Goma and Romario Williams, who have all featured in a lot of games this year and who can create for themselves and for others. You know, on the flip side, you've got Rhode Island, and we'll take a break and come back to that in just a moment.
Ethan Rodriguez, a one-man attack for now. Trey Garthen fought to get back in front after the giveaway. Quizera working with J.J. Williams. Birmingham get bodies back behind the ball. Shapiro Thompson. Baccarat. Good work from Shapiro Thompson. That first touch had to be good. Shasha was keen to it. Fine from Stoneman. Fuson with space. He fires. Kolelat saves and keeps it away. The rebound from J.J. Williams. Another strong save. Kolelat, who was not going to be beaten from distance there. Definitely waited from Peter Lee Vassell to Sebastian Trey Garthen, and now Birmingham might have something here. Diarbian. Want to take on two defenders. So now Birmingham will settle things. Captain Fanwo Kavita on the other side. In possession here, something they didn't have a ton of there in the first half as Antwi was clipped and fouled. So we talked about what Jay Heaps, his message was on one side of things. Just see what Kolelat's latest effort was here on this shot from Fuson.
Yeah, he catches all that, and that's a really good shot. Shout out to the cameraman for following the ball so well there. It's great camera work from the folks at Down in Front Productions.
Diarbian splits defenders into the 18. Diarbian with options. His shot blocked. Falls for Damas on his left. Koke Vegas makes his first save of the night.
That's a good sequence from Birmingham. Ball ends up at Damas's feet, and again, he's in a good position. He typically scores those types of goals. That's how he's gotten to 50 in the USL Championship already. But again, hits this one right at Koke Vegas.
Vegas looking for his 5th clean sheet of the year tonight. That's his 31st save of the year. Compare that to Kolelat, who's approaching 60 USL Championship saves. Kolelat has been busy once again tonight. McElhatton trying to pick the right pass. Doesn't quite get all the way to Trey Garthen. It's not like Connor Smith's Rhode Island crew have been leaky defensively. They've been solid once again this year. Maybe not quite to the same effect as they were a year ago, but still very good. Sanchez couldn't get much on that serve. He was trying to just keep it in play. Damas fighting to get in front of Nodarse, did so, but lost possession. A lot of positives to take away for Conno Smith Morgan in that first half for Rhode Island. Really everything but the finishing product.
Yeah, and the chances are there. And if they continue to get those, they will eventually bury those. I think from his perspective, you look at his bench, who he has to bring on to potentially make an impact in this game. And combined on the bench, there's around 20 appearances so far this season. And that's not a ton. So it kind of gives you the thought that Conno Smith doesn't like to make a ton of changes. And so, as they continue to push, do they run out of legs to go and find that winner? Birmingham, have been on the defensive almost the entire match. Rhode Island have attempted, on average this season, just over 17 crosses, and they're already at 19 so far, and we still have 35 minutes to go. So Birmingham are going to have to continue to stay solid defensively and well organized in the middle of the park.
Island missing a few key pieces still, as a foul and a free kick is given to Birmingham. Still no Karife Yal, still no former Birmingham Legionnaire Zach Aravo. Those guys were listed as out on the availability reports. Jimmy Gogo Peters and Alfonso both remain out as well. This trickles out for a Rhode Island throw. Rhode Island has tried to bolster things on the bench a little bit of late. Foyo was announced as a signing about a week or so ago. Taro Escada, the Tokyo man and former West Virginia Mountaineer, was announced on loan from Orlando City as of Thursday. He likely makes his Rhode Island debut at some point in this match. Birmingham Legion, on the other hand, would love to have Tyler Pasher available tonight. He is not in the 18 once again. Son on the run against Bryce Washington. Washington wins that duel. Really for Birmingham to break quickly. McElhatton, though, clipped rather clumsily there from Quezera. Again, just 7 total fouls called tonight. No cards shown by our referee. Just kept this thing moving. As we approach the hour mark. Trey Garthen got it back from Peter Levassel. Bent that ball all the way across goal. Collected by Diarbian. Diarbian along the byline. Got around his man. Stoneman got a boot in there. Joshua brings it down, edge of the area. Go Brown joins the attack towards the penalty spot. Now Darcy heads it away from danger. Joshua dispossessed, and here comes Rhode Island. It's 4-on-4 on the break. Shapiro Thompson wants to play it early, and Kalela saw it the whole way.
See, this is where the game can get stretched. This is where I think Birmingham really need to run. They've got a 2v1 here right now. You've got Shapiro Thompson trying to track back. You've got 2v1. Cut it inside and hit it.
Diarbian does just that.
Oh, he just pulled his hamstring.
Straight into the back of Stoneman. Diarbian is limping a bit.
He knows it.
Behind the play.
I hate to see that for him. Off the, yeah, he's saying I need to sub.
So, although Jay Heaps hasn't made any changes yet, he's going to have to make one now, and he might be making a double change. Dawson McCartney looks like the man who's set to be coming on. Surprised Diarbian hasn't gone down yet. He's still on his feet and trying to play, but moving very, very gingerly. Nico Brown driving forward. His left-footed cross cut out and last touch by him. I think Fort Diarbian needs to go down here. Birmingham doesn't want to defend with 10, and he will. And that is very unfortunate for him. Morgan, you saw it almost happen in real time, but talked about it early tonight. Despite just the 1 goal and 2 assists, Diarbian has been really the danger man in the attacking third for Birmingham Legion all season long.
He has, and they've relied on him to be that. And, you know, it hasn't produced the number of goals that maybe he certainly would have wanted, or Jay Heaps and his staff would have wanted. But, you know, for Birmingham, they have guys like Sebastian Salcedo who can come off the bench. They can pull Dawson McCartney on and either push Nico Brown forward or bring Trey Garthen over to the left side. It's a situation where Legion FC have options, and they have players who have got substantial minutes so far this year. So it's not a huge huge loss in the fact that you don't have anybody that you think is game ready or match fit, right? You've got players who can come do that. It certainly is a big loss that he's created so much for this team so far this season, but an opportunity for the next man to be up.
So it is Dawson McCartney who comes on for Gavort Diarbian, and we'll hope that leg injury is not too serious. Diarbian has played a ton of minutes this year. Dawson McCartney comes on for him. 27-year-old in his third season here in Birmingham. Guy who started a dozen contests in the league, plus 2 more in Brinkstyre's USL Cup. Coming off the bench for just the 3rd time this year after he played 80 minutes last time out against Lou City. So the first change of the night has been made by Jay Heaps in Birmingham at the hour mark. Less than a half hour to go tonight. Both these two sides still looking for the initial breakthrough.
Yeah.
Vegas sends it away and gets us restarted again.
And what happened with that change is that McCartney goes to left back where he typically plays. Peter Lee Vassal's come over to the left. Sebastian Tregarthen has gone over to the right wing position, and Nico Brown is now playing as the right back.
Free kick as J.J. Williams was brought down, and this will be another set-piece chance for Rhode Island. Shapiro Thompson be the man to supply service. Who has been a key cog for Rhode Island after he was injured pretty much all of 2024. 25 starts last year. He's made 9 straight starts now this season. I'll leave this one for Quizera, though. Quizera along the floor. Rodriguez on the turn. Good work by Damas. Not a defender by trade, but his body positioning perfect to shield it out of play.
You would have not known it if he would have just shown that clip. So really, really well done from him.
Again, play the goal kick short, trying to build from the back. Stretch this Rhode Island crew.
Oh,
Stoneman heads it backward. Not on the same page with Vegas, and Thomas has an easy one. Birmingham Legion have the lead. A mistake at the back gives Ronaldo Damas his 2nd goal of the year.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened between the two of them, but listen, we talked about Ronaldo Damas being, as you said earlier, the least efficient player in XG, and he doesn't make any mistakes there. And that's the kind of goal that sometimes gets you, we talked about a baseball slump. It's just the one that rolls off the toe, or the one that just bounces your way out of nowhere. And certainly Ronaldo Damas makes the most of that one, gives Legion FC the lead for the last 30 minutes. And so now things start to change for both teams, right? For Connell Smith, now he's got to find a way. We've got to go get a goal. And then the next one for Jay Heaps and for Birmingham Legion is they've got to make sure that they continue to stay organized. And look, as we see the replay here from the inline camera, Stoneman and Vegas certainly not on the same page. That's a big blunder, and to be honest, they're both to be at fault. However, Koke Vegas for me has to be louder. There's no reason Stoneman should head that ball back towards his own goal if he knows that Vegas is anywhere near him.
Big mistake from 2 veterans. Grant Stoneman, today his 155th USL Championship appearance. Koke Vegas has been a staple in this league since 2022. But a big blunder gifts Ronaldo Damas a goal brought to you by AT&T, and all of a sudden, that moment is the difference in the game to this point. For all the pressure that Rhode Island have applied tonight, they have not found breakthrough, and Quizera couldn't keep that in play. It's out for a Birmingham throw. Not only for Ronaldo Damas, but for a Birmingham team writ large that has created quite a bit more XG than goals scored. It just feels like they haven't found the right bounces in the attacking third for most of the season. They catch a break in the biggest of ways. Now they're in the driver's seat with 25 plus minutes to go. Perhaps looking for more. Peter Lee Vassal, Sam McElhatton working with Sam Shashua. Shashua trying to find Dawson McCartney, the guy who just checked in. Scardina heads it over the end line and out for a Birmingham corner. That was the question we were asking, Morgan. All those opportunities, all that pressure Rhode Island generated there in the first half, was it going to come back to haunt them? That they did not find a breakthrough at any point. Now the pressure is on here. Birmingham, of course, in no hurry to take this corner.
No, and you go to about game management, right? You've got to make sure that you know when to push the momentum, and this guy on the ball right here, Sam Shashua, is going to be the one in charge of the tempo for Birmingham. He is, even when they're behind. But even more so now, he has to make sure that he manages the tempo. And as we get a minute while the referee is talking to a couple of players, a couple of stats here. When Rhode Island have conceded the first goal away from home, they have not gotten a single point. When Birmingham have been at home, they've got 1 win and 2 draws. So they've got a total of 5 points in 3 matches where they've scored first.
J.J. Williams gets ahead to that one at the near post. Shapiro Thompson able to bring it down, no problem. Rhode Island trying to start the break. Rodriguez dispossessed. Sam McElhatton, another defensive intervention. He has played well today. He also got fouled there.
Yeah, and again, look, this is the time. Catch your breath. Birmingham played on Wednesday night. Rhode Island did not. So Birmingham, from a freshness standpoint, they're not nearly as fresh as Rhode Island will have been. And they've got to go and they've got to make sure they protect this lead.
Joshua fouled from behind by Baccarat.
But each time the ball is stopped for a dead ball, for a foul, for a throw-in, for a corner, that's precious time that ticks off the clock. And it really takes away from the ability to generate any sort of momentum for Rhode Island, right? This game, since Birmingham has scored this goal, the game has been stopped over and over again for fouls, for corners, for throw-ins, for different things, right? But Conno Smith immediately reacting to giving up the goal and has a couple of substitutions coming.
Dwayne Atkinson, one of the 2 blue shirts who's set to check in perhaps after this set piece. I think Rhode Island are going to hold those changes. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner. Rhode Island have certainly had more set pieces in this contest. We'll see what Birmingham does with this one. Played short along the ground to Trey Garthen. Garthen on his right, just able to maintain his footing. McElhatton. Joshua on his left, fires off woodwork. Sam Joshua nearly had his second banger of the week.
What a strike, too. I mean, we had a beautiful view of it from here up in the press box, and it looked as though it was heading for that top corner and just barely misses.
Joshua back on it here. Kavita couldn't quite get it back to Peter Lee Vassell, and now Kavita's got some running to do. The center back sprinting back to get bodies back behind the ball. Force Rhode Island to slow things up just a little bit. Sam Joshua scored from outside the box at Lou City on Wednesday. Nearly had a second brilliant goal there. Okay, Vegas and Rhode Island saved by the underside of the bar. No Darcy.
Listen, for those of us who grew up reading the book or have kids now, if you give a mouse a cookie, he'll want a glass of milk. And Birmingham are searching for that glass of milk right now.
J.J. Williams is offside. There's the flag. And now Rhode Island will make those 2 changes. Talked about it a little bit ago. Taro Toscana, the Tokyo native, played his college soccer at West Virginia. The 25-year-old officially loaned out from Orlando City as of Thursday to Rhode Island FC. He makes his Rhode Island debut here. The other guy coming on, Dwayne Atkinson, Jamaican international. Guy who was signed August 7th of last year, now in his 2nd season of Rhode Island. 12th time he's appeared off the bench. He has been the super sub this year for Rhode Island. Let's get another look at this opportunity from Sam Joshua.
Yeah, he does a great job shifting it to his left, and he beat Coque Vegas there. Another good look at it.
Joshua onto this second ball as well. Just touched off his feet, but out for a Birmingham throw. Birmingham will take their time here with this throw. Stoneman clears it away, only as far as Kavita's header, though. There's the substitute. Atkinson couldn't keep it away from Dawson McCartney, Birmingham's lone sub to this point. 18 plus minutes to go. Birmingham on the front foot as it stands. Rhode Island trying to do something about that. Despite having the bulk of the ball, the bulk of the chances tonight, they find themselves trailing on the road and in danger of dropping 2 contests to Birmingham this year. Wizera delivers. Williams just too tall for him. Bryce Washington got a hit to it instead. Musan keeps it alive. Scardina well off the mark. 10 rows deep.
Yeah, and after several victories for Cotton Smith and Rhode Island, to drop both to Birmingham would not be on his preseason to-do list.
See if Jay Heaps makes any more changes here again. Birmingham just played back on a Wednesday. Now they did get another day of rest unexpectedly when this game didn't happen last night. Nico Brown was fouled. Bulk of the same starters, just one change from the 11 that saw Lou City. Dawson McCartney played 80 minutes in Louisville on Wednesday. He came off the bench here in the second half. Sam McElhatton, meanwhile, came off the bench. He started. He's played quite well in central midfield tonight for the Legion. It's a Birmingham team that has been plagued by draws this year. 8 of them in the league. Only Loudoun and their 9 draws are more coming into the weekend. Their loss at Louisville City back on Wednesday was their 5th 1-goal loss of the year. Almost every match in the league has been either a draw or within 1 goal of margin. Which is one of the things that has made this season so frustrating to this point for Birmingham. If they could hang on here, it'd be their 3rd league victory. 2 of those 3 wins would come against this same opponent. Giveaway there from Atkinson leads to a Birmingham throw.
Somebody from Rhode Island needs to take the reins of this team and calm them down mentally. They're making errors that they weren't making in the first half that you don't typically see them make. Right, that little pass right there was just played out of bounds. There was no pressure. It was an unforced error, and they're starting to make those more and more. And so, as somebody inside of the game, it can't just be Connor Smith and his staff saying things from the sidelines. Somebody from that team needs to grab a hold of the team and bring them up and lift the spirit a little bit, because they're still in this game and there's still plenty of time.
Maybe it's this guy, Hugo Baccarat, keeps it moving. Scardina back to Nodarse. Fans, a reminder, if you can't watch the match, you can turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches for the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. McElhatton's pass cut out by Nodarse. Otherwise, Trey Garthen was free.
It took way too long. He had the opportunity to get it to him early and 1v1 with Nodarse with 30 yards in behind him. It just in those moments, it just needs to move a little bit quicker. And let me be honest and let me be truthful and transparent here. It is so easy to play this game from a couple hundred feet in the air. We have the view of everything, can see all that could potentially happen, but you want to see players kind of do some things a little bit quicker sometimes, and I think from an attacking perspective, you like to see that. Good work defensively from Nico Brown there.
Really well done. Did not concede a corner. That was last touch by Toscata. So goal kick for Birmingham, and the Legion are going to make their second change of the night here as Serge Goma will come on and replace Peter Lee Vassell, the man on loan from New York Red Bulls. Much like Dwayne Atkinson on the Rhode Island side, this has been Goma's role. The super sub for the Legion. Comes off the bench for the 11th time in the league this year. Making his 13th appearance as a member of Birmingham Legion. He's 21 years old, a guy with plenty of pace. Less than a quarter hour to play. Colelat sends this away. Heading out of play for a Birmingham throw. Fans, a reminder, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Is there a handball in there? Birmingham certainly thought so. Referee allows play to continue. That's been a theme tonight. Thomas collects. Off the other side, Trey Garthen. Garthen could not beat Shapiro Thompson, and it'll be Rhode Island's throw. Meanwhile, it looks like Kano Smith has called back at least another 1 or 2 subs as he tries to dig into his bench. Find a way to change this game. You can argue that Rhode Island were in control most of the night, but they trail. And are looking for answers now since the goal scored.
It's a really good feat from Bryce Washington there. Not only to get that pass, it was towards him, but so often you see defenders get their feet wrong and miss that touch and give it away, or don't field it as cleanly, but he does a very, very good job.
Trey Garthen couldn't quite split defenders. Atkinson does not concede the corner. McElhatton gets there first. Still Sam McElhatton recovers. Picks up his head. Nico Brown has been all over the park tonight, surveying both flanks. Birmingham working deliberately, searching for an opening. Joshua couldn't find one. Baccarat got in the way of that pass. And so was he fouled? Yes, he was. That was dangerous for Baccarat. Antwi conceding quite a bit of size to the Spanish midfielder. As Rhode Island prep a second double change. Hamadi Diop, Senegalese man and former Clemson Tiger, will come on. As will Danny Rivera. Shapiro Thompson's evening is done. So we'll see if Diop or Rivera can help Rhode Island turn this game around in the late stages. Rivera just getting back to full strength off the bench now for the 4th straight game. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliners. Served by Joshua. Falls kindly for Trey Garthen, who couldn't keep it close. Kavita got ahead to it. Not a bad strike there in traffic for McCartney, but it got blocked, and a foul that spilled Quizera. Brings everything to a halt. So a free kick coming here for Rhode Island. They've now made 4 changes in the second half. Atkinson, the new man, Toscata, Rivera, Diop. First appearance for Hamadi Diop since May. His 8th appearance of the year. The former Charlotte FC, San Diego FC man. Smith looking for a spark, looking for a way to change this game. It's progressive here from Toscata. He wanted a foul, he's going to get one. Great work from him to win the free kick. Generate another set piece for Rhode Island. They've had plenty tonight.
Just catches him on the top of the boot. And again, an opportunity for Rhode Island to whip another ball in here. Again, they are dangerous. They've scored 6 goals on set pieces. Birmingham must be switched on here.
Toscata delivers all the way through and out for a Rhode Island corner. Dozen corner kicks for Rhode Island tonight.
I get Joe wanted to get into the game, but running over to set that there for your teammate just to turn around and run straight back. Maybe you just stretch your legs out.
His leg's the freshest of anybody out there. Zara, not convincing that time from Kolelet. Atkinson back into the mix, over the top for the intended targets. Their stoppage here allows Birmingham to continue to bleed this clock. 82nd minute. Ball collected by Shashua, and you can just see him telling everybody to slow down just a little bit. Tregarthen clipped and fouled, and this will result in our first yellow card of the night. It's shown to Rovira.
Maybe his first foul.
Who just came onto the field a few moments ago. Yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. It was just a little late. So the substitute, the first man booked tonight. Birmingham plays it short.
Interesting enough, Birmingham know they don't need the goal here, so Kavita stayed back, but they can't concede possession like this.
Quezera often running with acres of space. He's got Atkinson to his left.
That's really good.
To his right.
Really, really great hustle from Bryce Washington to get back. I was just about to say he had pushed forward. Kavita had stayed home. Bryce Washington, the first man to put pressure on the ball after Legion FC conceded it, but he had to make up probably 40 or 50 yards to do so.
Quezera, top of the box. Fuson blocked by guess who? Bryce Washington. Washington has had his moments today for this Birmingham back line that has bent but has not broken through 83 plus minutes. Rhode Island has squeezed off 17 shots and counting. Toscata on the turn. Quezera. Fuson with space, fires just wide.
Well, they let that go, so he was comfortable with it. But man, it looked dangerous.
Noah Fuson has had 2 or 3 excellent scoring opportunities tonight, denied twice by Kolelet. This one whistles just across the face of goal.
Along with Bryce Washington and the theme for him the past couple of minutes. He has 13 defensive contributions so far tonight per FOTMOB, which is the most of anybody so far. Kolelet's going to get booked again this year for taking too long on a goal kick.
So a yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm, the first shown to a member of Birmingham Legion this year, or in this contest. It's the second time the goalkeeper has been booked this year for time wasting. Nico Brown is struggling and limping. Birmingham might be forced into a change for their right back. This play is restarted here. Brown stays on the field for now. Rhode Island trying to win it back, get something going. McCartney in tight quarters. Works with Trey Garthen to get it out. Shashua driving forward. Damas was offside, flags up. Birmingham is prepping a double change here. Sebastian Saucedo has grabbed his shirt. So has Amir Daly. Those changes will be held here for a moment as Rhode Island play. Bryce Washington again beats J.J. Williams to it, but is called for the foul. Washington can't believe it. J.J. Williams wants a booking. Let's see if we get a second look at that challenge.
Goes through the back of the attacker here. Certainly.
Washington not shown yellow, but Rhode Island have been given a free kick and have plenty of blue shirts in and around the penalty spots. Zara pick one out. Dangerous ball flicked over the top.
It's another free header.
Couldn't make the most of it, and now Birmingham will make their final two changes of the night. Sebastian Saucedo will come on for Sam Shashua, who has been excellent tonight. And of course, talked about Nico Brown. He was laboring a few moments ago. Amir Daly replaces him, and for Legion fans, good to see Amir Daly back in the mix. The former Duke Blue Devil spent last year on loan to Birmingham, signed outright for this season. Had been out injured since the Loudoun contest. He had to exit prematurely after just 32 minutes. He had not played in a contest since June 20th, that Loudoun game. He's back on here for the final few moments. 88th minute here at Protective Stadium. Birmingham nursing a one-goal advantage. Vegas forced to send it away. And a foul is going to bring it all the way back to Vegas. So he got clipped by Ronaldo Damas on the way by. So Rhode Island have possession back. It's going to feel awfully tough for Rhode Island for the scoreline to stay the same and the different speed. A massive mistake at the back. But as it stands, that moment, the difference. Scotta can get there. Kavita sends it away. Kavita, a second clearance as well. Connor Smith prepping one final change here. Come on momentarily. He's called one more sub back. Looks like Kevin Vang, a Rhode Island native. Hartney up to win that header. Trey Garthen flicks it along. Atkinson tracks it down, but Rhode Island will start getting bodies forward and quickly. As we enter the 90th minute tonight. Let's corrals that, no problem. It's not like there have been a ton of stoppages in this second half. There's been sub windows used. There's been one goal scored. 2 bookings. Not a ton of extended stoppages really all night tonight. Wizera taken off it by McCartney. Good work by Damas to fight back in front. Saucedo's first touches a bit unconvincing. Washington tracks back to Corral. Trey Garthen trying to find Damas. Saucedo foul. This must be yellow, and it is. Atkinson booked. Yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Jamaican International becomes the second Rhode Island sub to be shown yellow.
Not pretty. Fortunately, Buffo is okay.
Kevin Vang officially on. Noah Fuson off. The final change of the night for Rhode Island. Card again brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Bacharach ushers that back to Vegas. We're into stoppage time, brought to you by UAB Medicine. 6 added minutes to close the night.
Talking about how there wasn't a lot of stoppages, yet we've got 6 minutes.
6 on the board, and the fourth official was not greeted kindly by the home crowd down below. Rivera. Storman back out to the wide areas. Quizera. Can he make something happen here in stoppage time? Racing to the byline. Well bunned by Trey Garth, and to take it off him. It's a Birmingham throw. Into our minimum of 6. Birmingham doing their best to try to kill this game off, pick up their 3rd league win of the year. They had 3 wins in Brinks Tires USL Cup play, but wins in the league have evaded them by and large. Darcy back to Vegas. Darcy will restart things again for Rhode Island. Need to start working quickly. They have not found a whole lot of goal-scoring opportunities since Birmingham found the back of the net.
And the substitutes that have come on haven't made really much of an impact so far. There's been a couple of runs here and there, but not a lot from the substitutes from Connell Smith's Rhode Island team.
Just have not been able to regain the confidence they were playing with. J.J. Williams called for the foul as he ran through Sam McElhead.
That's exactly what you want if you're Birmingham right now. You want those little fouls, those little things to add up and to slow the game down. Allow your goalkeeper to come from the back. Kavita and Washington and McCartney come up along with Amir Daly. That back line just slowly taking their time.
Goalkeeper sends it away midway through our minimum of 6. Sato get that around Bacharach. Good work by Amir Daly. Seth Antwi. No nonsense there. Sends that away. Nadarse, the first man to win it. Here comes Rhode Island again. They've got to throw numbers forward. Quizera, the danger man all night tonight. And so he cuts out that first service from Rivera. It's out for a Rhode Island corner. They've had so many corners tonight. This one dealt with emphatically by Trey Garthen.
It's 2/3. By the time this ball gets back in, it'll be 2/3 of the way through the stoppage time. Birmingham very close to holding on to 3 points.
Grant Stoneman perhaps to try to throw this one in long. Atone for the mistake at the back that has defined the night to this point. Bryce Washington, another intervention. Stoneman heads it right back that same direction. Damas, the first man to it. McElhead tried to get around Quizera but could not. Stays down here. More defending to do for Birmingham. Rhode Island trying to pour on the pressure here late. Quizera delivers. And it's cleared away by McCartney.
Clearly let us sense because he wanted McCartney to leave that for him.
Second ball corralled by Job. Nadarse. Into the 96th minute. Almost everybody in a blue shirt forward now. Could be the last attacking moments of the night for Rhode Island. And it's wasted. Vang's pass off target. Throw for the Legion. They only have to kill off the final 40 seconds now. Any contact, foul conceded, free kick Rhode Island.
Just about to say, it was on the tip of my tongue. What you don't want to do is concede any sort of free kicks that give Rhode Island the chance to lump this ball into the box. And sure enough, here it comes. Birmingham has to be switched on. At this point in the game, it is about who wants it more.
Vegas sends it into the box. Headed towards goal, but not much on it from Bacharach. Clean catch for Collet. And that is full time. Birmingham Legion collect all 3 points from Rhode Island for the second time this year. 1-0 to the Legion, our final.
Yeah, what a huge result for Jay Heaps and his staff after a disappointing match in Louisville in the midweek to come back home and really grind out 3 points tonight. You know, it's on the flip side, it's really frustrating for Connor Smith and his team. They had plenty of chances early on with corners and set pieces, but were unable to put one in the back of the net. Yassim Koulilet, he's the man of the match for me. Made several big saves tonight for Birmingham to keep a clean sheet.
Those big saves were paid off when Ronaldo Damas found the back of the net just past the hour mark. Birmingham 1, Rhode Island 0, our final. We'll step aside and wrap things up when we return to Birmingham right after this.
For every action, there's a reaction. For every late night check-in, every early morning routine, every episode that you just wish wouldn't end. There are thousands of actions making it all possible. From the little things to the big things to the couldn't live without them things. There are hardworking people doing everything in their power to power everything you do.
In Alabama, we take care of each other. We show up and work hard for the people who count on us. Now, Alabama is showing up for you with clinical genetic testing free for adults in our state. So you learn about your health risks before they become a problem. No cost, no insurance. For your heart, family, and future. Catalyst.
Back here in Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham Legion, a hard-fought 3 points tonight. Third league win of the year. As they pick up a 1-0 win over Rhode Island FC. They sweep Rhode Island season series after a 3-1 victory up in Pawtucket back in May. Good vibes from the fans here in attendance who stuck it out after the postponement last night. Came back here today, saw their team pick up a positive result. Morgan, as we look at the final stats tonight, talked about it pretty much all night. Rhode Island had the ball. They had the chances, especially in that first half. A couple of big saves from Jessim Koulilet kept Birmingham level, and in the end, the Legion take advantage of a mistake and make it count.
Yeah, look, those are the types of mistakes that you don't expect to be made at this level, and you know, Stoneman and Vegas will, you know, take a look at each other and be frustrated with this result. But you know, at the end of the day, Rhode Island are still a very, very good team and still have plenty of opportunity to get above the playoff, stay above the playoff line, get a home playoff game. Connor Smith will just be scratching his head, wondering why it is Birmingham had his number this year.
Meanwhile, that 3-point performance, a big one for Birmingham, gets them back within 4 points of Indy 11. Currently occupy the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. For Rhode Island, they've got 2 of their next 3 at home as they continue here in the month of August, taking on Colorado Springs and Monterey Bay at home, with a trip to the Eastern Conference leaders, Tampa Bay Rowdy, is sandwiched in between as they play over the next 4 consecutive Saturdays. Meanwhile, for Birmingham Legion FC, 2 on the road to each coast, up the East Coast to take on Brooklyn FC, one of 2 teams below them in the Eastern Conference table. That game at 6 o'clock Central Time coming up this Saturday, and then a trip to Colorado Springs the following weekend before coming back home for a home contest against Sporting Jacks on August 22nd. But Morgan, for Birmingham, they got to be hoping this win propels them to bigger and better things, taking on 2 teams in the Eastern Conference table that are below them as it stands.
Yeah, certainly, and an opportunity to get 6 points. You would think they would be able to go get 6 points, maybe ride this momentum a little bit. It's a big win for them tonight. Can hopefully start to change the tide of their season. They're now on 17 points after 17 games. Rhode Island is on 22 after 16. So, a couple of games in hand from the folks above them. But, the teams around Birmingham, they've got to get to Indy 11, who are on 21 points, having played 16 games. So they've got a game in hand. But listen, 3 points is 3 points, and you're never going to move up the table if you can't get 3 points. And Birmingham did just that tonight.
Hard fought, and they'll take it. And that wraps up Week 22 in the USL Championship. Glad to have you join us, even though it was 24 hours later than we thought we were going to get this contest in the end. Got a beautiful night for soccer. Hard-fought victory for Birmingham Legion at home against Rhode Island FC. A couple of splendid saves from Jessim Kolela as he collects his 4th clean sheet USL Championship play. His defense was strong tonight. Ronaldo Damas cashed in this mistake at the back to give Birmingham Legion all 3 points for the second time this year against Rhode Island FC. Thanks for watching our coverage of USL Championship Soccer. For Morgan Copes and our entire crew based here in Birmingham, I'm Blake Gardner saying good night from the Magic City. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.